Hi! So I'm going to be showing you a video of my everyday 10-minute makeup. If I have the time in the morning, this is the look I've been going to most of the days. It's just a great combination of color and definition. So I've already primed my skin with the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. Whether I'm doing a quick minute face or a full face, I always use this because it makes a huge difference in how my foundation lasts all day. So I've already done that, and now I'll be putting on my Maybelline Superstay foundation. Sorry. I like it because it's long wearing, but it's not too drying, especially in the winter time. So I'm just going to put a bit on the back of my hand, and I use the Real Techniques Retractable Kabuki brush. I really like it because it's got a nice angle, so you can really get underneath the eyes, and it's a bit bigger so it covers more area quicker. So I'm just gonna put on my foundation. I like to do a combination of brushing it on and then, whoops, tapping it in. You can hear the kids playing downstairs. This video will probably take a little longer because I'll be talking through. And it's Saturday morning, I'm kind of tired, got a headache. So I concentrate a lot of this on the center of my face. I have most of the redness here because of my oily T-zone. And I brush it down my neck too, just to make sure the color's even. Okay. Alright, so once I'm done with that, I move on to concealer. I like the Maybelline Master Conceal. It helps brighten your under eyes, and it's full coverage concealer. So I dot it a little bit like this to create a bit of a triangle, so it's not too obvious. And I just use my ring finger. The warmth of your finger helps melt the product into your skin, and it looks more natural, and then you spend less time fiddling for brushes. If you don't have time to put primer, then just put it all over your eyelid and then powder your eyelid, and it'll work almost as well. Not quite as well, because I do have an eyelid primer. With hooded eyes, I find it really beneficial. Or if you just really want to make sure your makeup's going to last all day, then primer is always good. And corners of my nose, because I think for most people it gets pretty dark there. Blemishes, and then I have like discoloration here. I don't know from what, some kind of scarring, so I always put a little bit there. And then if you have any breakouts, of course. But yeah, I don't go too crazy, because I don't want it to cake up and crease and be awful. So to help prevent that, I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte Press Powder in Translucent, so I don't have to worry about it changing the color. And I take this little square sponge for under my eyes and press it a couple times on top. And because my T-zone is the one that gets oily, I use this sponge to press it just in that T-zone. And then the rest of my face, I just use a big fluffy brush like this. I don't have to do too much in the wintertime. My skin's pretty dry and the foundation's pretty good. But I want it to last all day today because we're running errands during the day, and then at night my husband and I have a date, so I want it to last. Okay, onto my face. So most of the days I've been using this Naked Stay Flushed by Urban Decay. And this one is in the color Streak. And it has this great corally color. It has a beautiful peachy shimmer and this satiny bronzer. I usually use a matte, but this one you can barely, it's not sparkly, it's not too shimmery, it's just satiny. It's really, really nice. On the days that I do a quick 5-minute face, I just use it to warm up my skin and put some on my cheeks, and that's it. But today I'll do everything. I love using bronzer all the time because it adds dimension back into my face after I even it out. And it adds so much warmth. Especially I tend to be pretty pale. And down my neck, of course, because if not, I would just look like this floating bronzed head. And I always put a little bit on the sides of my nose, just to add some warmth and slim it out a bit. Okay, I'm not going to go too crazy. And then, oh, by the way, that was the Body Shop's, I don't know, it's nice, soft, and pretty. It wasn't too expensive. And then I take a Real Techniques blush brush, and I start pretty high on my cheeks to make myself look a bit more youthful and to add more of the color there, and a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. It's such a pretty color. Just a bit. And then I'll take a fan brush. This is from Smashbox. I had gotten it in a kit years ago. But these brushes are great. They last for years. So I'm going to take that shimmery peachy shade and highlight the top of my cheekbones. My cupid's bow, a little bit my nose, and above my eyebrows. And then on a day-to-day basis, I'll take my pinky finger and swatch it and put it in the corners of my eyes to make me look awake and bright. And a little bit on the brow bone. And before I close this little palette, I take a little eyeshadow brush. This one's from Base eyeshadow brush from Real Techniques. Just dip it in the bronzer, and the point of this is just to contour out my crease. Especially with hooded eyes, it really helps disguise it and bring out your eye color a bit. So I just swirl it around. You know, it's not too dark. I'm not too worried about being super precise. I just want to get some definition in there. And a little bit underneath. Okay, so that's that for that. So I'll fill in my eyebrows now. As you can tell, it's a must. It really helps frame your face. I find that I don't need as much eye makeup because I have such great definition here. It really does so much. So I'll just get going. So I just do light strokes all the way through, filling in any gaps. And then, because my eyes are hooded, I like to thicken up the line on the top. Makes it look fuller, and it lifts my eyes, and it looks more youthful. And I brush it out to make it look natural as much as I can, and it helps me see if there's any other spaces that need to be filled out. I don't usually do my makeup here. I do it in the bathroom and I'm standing like right in front of the mirror. So I'm feeling a little awkward right now. But whatever. The lighting is best here. I like natural lighting because, well, that's how your face will be viewed most of the time. Okay. Usually I'll just go back later if I notice any errors, any places that need to be more defined, but you can see the difference. Like, it's a huge difference. This eyebrow I have to color in a bit more here, over plucking. Don't pluck. Only if you really have to, but I did it too much because the style back in the 90s was really thin. Now I'm paying for it. You always have one eyebrow that's nicer than the other. And then there's days where, I don't know. Okay, this one's by, ooh, it's getting down to the wire. I think it's L'Oreal Superliner, and it has this little wax bit at the end, so on a day-to-day basis, if I don't have much time, I'll just use the wax and brush it through, and then brush through again with this. But if not, I use my Maybelline Browdrama. It's a tinted eye gel, and I find it adds a little bit more texture. But what I do is I let it, it's got a weird ball shape. I just let it sit out for a few minutes to dry out a bit. If not, it would be too slick. I don't like that. So while that's drying out, I'm going to go in with liner. So on a day-to-day basis, I love this. I got it in my Ipsy bag, and it's by the Balm, and it's called Mr. Right Now. And it's this gorgeous, swatch it. It's like a coppery, bronzy color, and it has a bit of shimmer in it. So it really makes your eyes look awake and gives some color and definition when you really don't have time to do much else to your eye makeup. So if I'm doing a 5-minute face, I use this. I don't do the bronzer in the eyes, I just line with this. And I don't worry too much about being super precise. Because I'm just trying to get some definition in here. I know you're not supposed to pull on your eyelid too much, but with hooded eyes, it makes my life easier. It's faster. And I run a little bit on the bottom. And because it's not black, it's not super harsh, it's just defining. Okay, I'm happy with that. I will run my brow gel through my brows. I have long hair, so I really need to do this. If not, my brow hairs are everywhere. And I like how it adds more definition. Okay, I'm gonna have to work on that brow later. Okay. And I will curl my lashes. While I heat up my eyelash curler in my hand, I like to put on my lip gloss. Helps save a little bit of time. So I'm using the NYX Apple Strudel Butter Gloss. It's so moisturizing, and the color is so pretty. Just adds the right amount of color and shine. And then I'll curl my lashes. So I do 3 squeezes at the base, 3 squeezes towards the end, and then I do another one at the base, but I tilt it up like this. I have very straight lashes, so this really helps. I try to do it even if I'm doing a 5-minute face to open up my eyes, but worst case I just put on mascara. And the mascara I'm using is Smashbox Full Exposure. This has been a favorite of mine lately because you really black lashes, really thick and really define. And I think it has a little bit of fibers in it, so it gives you longer lashes. It in no way replaces the 3D Fiber Lash Mascara from Unique, but on a quick day-to-day basis, I mean, look at that, that's one coat. On a quick day-to-day basis, it does wonders. And what I like about this mascara is that even when your lashes are dry and you want to add another coat for drama, it won't go clumpy or crazy or anything. Okay, that is my 10-minute face. It's just a little bit more amped up than a 5-minute face, you know, a bit more definition and lots of healthy glow. And then what I do to amp it up is I add some lip liner, because I find that my lips can get a little bit lost with the foundation. So I like doing it after gloss if you want to do more of a natural lip line. But it adds so much fullness. That's it. And then I'll take a darker matte shadow. This is Getaway from Benefit. I'll take the same brush I used for my crease, and I'll dip it in lightly, tap it off, and then I'll go to my outer edge. So all this is going just on the outer edge. And because the brush is super soft, it blends at the same time. I'll go a little bit in my crease, but I'm concentrating more of that color on the outer edge. Huge difference, huge difference. While you're doing your mascara, if you happen to get any on your eyelid, which I do often because I'm in a rush, wait till it dries and then wipe it off with a Q-tip. It'll just flake off. And with my hooded eyes, I have to open my eyes and check and make sure I can see the color. And I just raise it higher than you think it should be, but really it'll work out. And I just a little bit on the bottom. And I also love adding liquid liner, mostly to the outer half, let's say. So I'll start it about here. And then I just wing it out a little bit, just a little flick. Like I don't necessarily have time to really do a cat eye. It's a lot more work when you have hooded eyes. It's possible, but it's more work. But on a day-to-day basis, I just want to wing it out a little bit just to make my lashes look longer. So you can see just a little hint of a flick, but it'll add more thickness to my eye. It'll just make it a little bit more fancy. Okay, so you can see that just putting that shadow and some liner really adds a lot more depth and dimension, and then I'll go in with another coat of mascara. Because mascara. I concentrate a lot of it in the middle here to make my lashes look long up like that. It really opens up my eyes. And then to make it long on the outer edges. Okay, so that's pretty much it. It takes a couple more minutes. It's usually faster when I'm not talking and nervous, as you can tell, but that's pretty much it. So I've got my 10-minute face, and then add a few things and you've really amped it up. Great for a meeting, or, you know, my husband and I, like I said, we're going on a date tonight, but it's casual. We're going to grab burgers, we're going to go watch a movie, but I still want to look pretty, but natural and fresh. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave any comments, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I want to do a video on the NYX palette that I got. I did a review on it, but I want to do a nice romantic eye look for Valentine's Day. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.